Welcome to this look at a new map on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. Welcome to Slovenia 19. That's the map. WTS 19. This is a new map out by bgamer003 and Kirezagar, I think it is. 308.59 megabytes to download. This is a really interesting one and a challenging one. This is the map. Now it does say on the Mod Hub website, welcome to Slovenia 19, puts you in the place of a farmer in Slovenia. Beautiful land under the Alps. Face the challenges Slovenia offers. Well, this is a map where you're going to have to basically carve out a farming life if you want it. Where do we start? New farmer, normal economy. Well, we start with the start farm, which is just here. If you want to buy the start farm on the other farm manager and start from scratch, it's 365,976. The animals are all here apart from horses, and they are fixed in place. As you can see on the map as well, there's no sleep trigger anywhere fixed in place, which means you can place your sleep trigger wherever you want, but this is the only main farm. And I'll be honest, when I said this is going to be a challenging map, you might kind of be able to tell by the terrain, it's a bit bonkers. We've got some large sections that we can buy. For example, this one here for 2,700,000. Quite a bit of forestry and a few small fields running through the valley down the bottom. And there are some other interesting twists to this. What I really like off the bat, straight off the bat, is the layout of the farm. Like I say, there's no sleep trigger, but if we go, we'll go up this way first. I think because of the hillside and the way it's done, I really like it. Custom models and stuff, but it's not just plonked down. Your dialogue box for your cows is just here, and this will hold 40 cows, with your water trough being just there. If we come back out of this covered area and round to the side, we have got a ladder up there to the hayloft, but we don't need to use that. We'll see that in a minute. Look, little things like this, where you got the wooden bit down the side there because of the slope. The angle of that, you got the wooden bit added on the end. That's brilliant. We do have lighting, but I think we have to come to it a bit of an angle, otherwise it just does the door. There we go. Light switch on. It's not particularly bright lighting, but your feed trough is along here. And I think your bedding will be too, because we've already seen the water trough, which is just there. So that's your cow pasture and your cows. If we come back out of this one, let's turn the lights off. Close that. Under this section here, we've got some storage for putting wherever you want. Machinery, bales, pallets. Here, silage clamp, just to the side. Fill level and compacting. Then as we come across the yard here, we've got our pigs, and the dialogue box is just here. This will hold 35 pigs. Feed trough, and I'm assuming straw because I can't find another trigger anywhere. But the actual water trough is around the other side. I'll show you that in just a moment. Right next door to it, there's your slurry bit there. Right next door to it, we've got the chickens. The chicken pen will hold 70, with the feed trough being there. And again, a slight assumption. I think the egg boxes are going to spawn here. It's the only bit there's not really anything else there. It would kind of make sense they do. Now, if we carry on round past the chickens, got a little bit of road that runs out. We've got the manure pit there for the pigs. If we just hop into the pig pen, the water trough is here, which is accessed by this little pathway up from where we started, just in front of the main house. So I think it's one of those things. It's as the farm's grown up, as it's built up, it's been made to fit the landscape, rather than modelling the landscape to fit what you want to do. It's just been put in where it can be. So as we come further up, we've got some storage space here. I love the retaining wall. It's been cut back to allow driving round, but that's all been put in to stop the landscape encroaching. It's got some more storage space underneath, but as we sweep up, we come to the top layer. Again with some more storage space, hay loft if you want to have it as that. on both sides. And round to here, which is where I was talking about, the ladder comes up to the hayloft, but we can access it up the top. I just like the layout of the farm. I think it's really nice. Now we've got a meadow just above us here. And there's lots of terracing going on because it's pretty steep. And I'll be honest, the map is pretty steep all the way. The lighting seems to be very nice. The texture, the colour palette used fits really well. It's got a good feel. Now, as we're walking over towards the sheep, there are no custom mods on here, so nothing's been added in by the map maker. There are no custom crops. It's all the standard in-game crop types. There's no biogas plant on the map. That little track there runs back round. That's the one that comes around behind the pigs. Comes back here. Yeah, so there's no biogas plant. Trying to find somewhere to put one in would be, I think, and will be pretty challenging. Tiny little field there. But this is going to be kind of almost a pioneering one. And there's plenty of grassland, so if you want to run animals, probably cows primarily and sheep would work easier, I guess. Chickens wouldn't be too bad, I suppose. You can get on with doing some alpine farming with cows and things like that. Sheep, the trigger is just here. This will hold 80 sheep. If we open this up, we've got our feed trough along the sides here, and the water trough is just there. But again, another very steep pasture that runs off and round. That's where your sheep are going to be. But yeah, so like a pioneering thing in that. So if you don't just want to do animals now, oh yeah, here's something I was saying. The weird thing, we're going to be doing this on foot. Now's probably a good time to talk about the slot count. The slot count is 396. It's 396 on all three modes: New Farmer, Farm Manager, and Start from Scratch. You can't get that slot count any lower. The reason being, you don't start with anything. I think this is the only map I've ever been on where you don't start with anything at all. No machinery, no vehicles, nothing. It's a bit strange, but anyway, yeah, nothing. You don't start with a thing. So there's nothing to show you there. Just that the slot count is the same on all three game modes. What we are going to do, though, is cut cross-country through the woodland. So yeah, as I was saying, carving out a living here is going to be an interesting challenge. Now, I just noticed there are a few others that I noticed. We have a mixture of trees that I think can be cut down, can be used, or could be used with milling machines, devourers, mulchers, but there are a few that are floating here and there. But they are also mixed in with a lot of two-dimensional ones, which are just the cross, I suppose, to keep slot counts down. But when you get to these, they're not. There's no substance to them at all. What we're going to do is cut through the woodland here. Now, there's a little bit of a, like I said, I like the map. I think trying to do forestry on here to clear out enough land to then utilise for fields, if you want to do it for fields, is going to be difficult. As we come up, we've got small fields dotted around all over the place, little tracks and pathways around the woodland, and it is steep. Even for logging, it's going to be tricky. So field one just there. We're going to carry on across. Fields 2 and 3. Now what we're heading for is a little bit like the thumbnail, I'll be honest, and I'm a bit frustrated. I've left it because I love the picture. I like the look. And it's actually, I'm just want to check that. Are they silage clamps? No. Hop hangers, maybe? Potentially. Is that the pictures on the website, Mod Hub, show what looks like vineyards, and the picture looks amazing. And I thought, right, for the thumbnail, I'm going to replicate that. So I came on, had a quick look around the map, took the picture, and then went in for a closer look. The problem is, there's some more. That's not even a one you can cut down. It's a two-dimensional, but it's floating as well. It's a little bit clickbaity. I know it sounds a weird thing to say. 3 terraced fields here, and tricky to do, but I like the little kind of village that we've got. Wow, that is steep. And I'm trying to head for the right place. Yeah, well, it looks like a vineyard, and I thought, oh, that's really cool. So when we didn't start with any equipment, I went in to check on well, start equipment, because I was curious for things like planters and seeders. Because there's no additional crop types, that means there are no extra grapes. There's nothing in there. There's no additional crop types, and therefore there's no harvesting equipment, there's no planting equipment, there's nothing for them. So that lovely picture of the vineyard, and I think one of the pictures on the website even shows a tractor going between the rows. Now I'm assuming maybe the PC version has that available. Although looking at the picture now to my right, it could just be mowing between the rows. This looks just idyllic. I love the look of it. Come up between the rows. That could be olives. It looks like grapes. Yeah, it's grapes. That. And then we've got this one here that runs around the side. But you can't use them. They're not. It's just a decorative thing. I was gutted. It's a small thing. But I mean, it still looks absolutely lovely. But how cool would that have been to be able to harvest them? And I mean, even if you can't replant new ones, but come and fertilise and prepare the next lot. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, we can't use them. So where have we been on the map so far? We came from the main farm. We've walked right the way across here, right the way across here, crossed past these, and we're now here. We're going to head down to the sawmill, back through. When we get to here, we're going to hire a vehicle because we've got quite a drive out then to get out to the far part of the map. So as you can see, well, when I was going to take the thumbnail, I was going to bring a vehicle up to kind of stand on it to get some elevation. For doing thumbnails, unlike on PC where there's different mods, so you can raise yourself up and almost get like a bird's eye view across the map. Can't do that on console. So generally speaking, I'll either use a tool building or I'll get a vehicle to get some elevation so I can get better thumbnails, is what I do. Driving up there, wow. I was on the road and it didn't seem particularly steep, but wow, was it struggling. When I turned the camera sideways, boy, was it steep. So again, funneling into what I said earlier, this is going to be challenging. But this I love. You come down from the steep hillsides, and you can kind of see from the minimap, you know, it's a lovely little valley down the bottom. And this is going to be great for small farming stuff if you want to run your fields down in the valley, down the bottom here, small tractor work, that kind of thing. Then a bit of forestry with your animal husbandry up on the hillsides and slopes, doing the grass work and stuff like that. I think it's going to be absolutely brilliant. Let's just hop the fence here. So there are 2 sawmills. This is the eastern sawmill, just here. This is for your lumber. So your lumber sawmill is here. We will find the track back out. I'm still going to cut across country a little bit because, like I say, we are on foot, but so the track follows back down, but we are going to cut across. Hop the fence again. Yeah, I don't know. I just think it has a really nice feel to it. It doesn't feel at all, you know, sometimes you get maps, especially when they're very hilly, when the terrain's difficult, where they can be a little bit clunky here and there, where you get like bits of road which are kind of very angular and stuff like that. I haven't noticed that anywhere. I mean, apart from the floating trees here and there, it has a really nice sweep to it, you know. So, going west along the valley floor, past all the various different fields. Contracts are available though. Although we have no mods, crops or biogas plant, there are contracts available, which is nice. Lovely church up on the hill there. You can actually go and visit that if you want to. So, the main sell point area. First up, we've got the animal dealer. Something I do, no, say something. Another thing I really do like is all the signs everywhere. These are absolutely brilliant. There's all sorts of signs. This is your livestock market, animal dealer, just here. Your workshop main store is next door, with the workshop trigger being in the back of the yards here. Now this is the spawn point for vehicles, but this is not the reset point. The reset point is the farmyard. Where we first started out, that's your reset point. So if you need to reset a vehicle, it will reset up to the main farmyard. Around the front here is your buy point. Then we come away from here, we have got, right, there's a track that leads up there. We have come from the sawmill, out and across along there. So we've done the animal dealer, we've done the main store. That track leads up, all the way up there and curls around. There's like a huge, it almost looks like a volcano, like a volcanic crater. For login and stuff like that, but it's well worth it. Go up and have a look. If you can come on the map, I'm not going to go and show you it. It's always nice to have a little something to discover. And then obviously when you take this one, that takes you all the way up that hillside, right to the top. And there's that church on the top of the hill we've just seen, but we'll have a look at that in just a moment. While I'm here, actually, now it's probably not a bad time. I'm just going to lease a pickup just for the last bit. Doesn't matter what it is, what colour it is, or anything like that. But we'll cross the road very quickly, because over here we've got a couple of sell points. We've got welcome to Slovenia. This is a wall sell point, but also the barn sell point. They are right on top of each other here. It does say barn underneath all of that, but we have got barn and spinnery both here, and then round the back here we've got the selling station generic. Just around there, but another sign just there telling us they're heading that way. They buy planks and wood chips, just advertising the company. I thought I could hear a car coming. Let's grab the pickup. So from here, I must admit, I think a lot of the Alpine DLC stuff would work really well on here. Things that have a low horsepower requirement, things that are going to work well on very steep inclines. And look at that, going up to that church, that is seriously steep. So heading out of town, take a route round. We should get to turning in a minute. Now, interestingly, there's this one here, again, really nicely made sign, nice and clear, the bakery. But there's not a sell point there. I thought that would be that'd be a really obvious place to have a sell point, but again, yeah, map makers, the sell points are where they want them to be. But it's just, well, I suppose there are lots of modded ones. If you did a bit of landscaping, maybe you could fit a sell point on there. We have a fuel station, bottom of the hill, and then directly after it, there's a nice big sign for the Wood Co. But also, if you can find a tractor that uses less fuel than Deutz, buy it. They're very clear, nice posts. Sometimes you get a little bit of blurring or whatever, but we're heading this way because this is the western sawmill that we're heading to, and this is your wood chip sell point. So a sawmill either side of the map. No shortage of login. I mean, I don't know. Are you up to the challenge? That's the thing. I mean, I'm even going around this. I like a login map. I like a bit of pioneering stuff. And whole Merkra had its hills. It was a tricky map to do, but this one, This is something else. But I'm still blown away by the fact there's no start machinery. Yeah, wow. So, wood chip sale point, just there. I'm looking down my list. There's not really anything else I need to add. Talks about the reset because there's no vehicles to talk about. But for quite a small, compact map, it's really impressive. It is really impressive. I like it. It's got a very nice feel to it. So there we go. That's Welcome to Slovenia 19 by BGamer003 and Kirezagar. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.